Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me. Some different changes to the sound and setup today, so hopefully everything's nice and clear. ISO key logo. Well, it's ISO and ANSI. It's all logos put together, so it's multiple logos in one. Quieter than normal. My volume is set to maximum. Let me try and adjust that a little bit. Okay, I can't go any louder. That should be maximum. Hopefully the music's not too loud. Let me know if it is. I'll change it and drop it down just a touch if it's overpowering. But today we're building the Equinox. This is the 40% from Pona. So I'm really excited about this. This has been something I've been talking about with Pona for a while, and it finally arrived a couple of days ago. So I'm really excited to build this. As well as this, we'll also be moving on to the Gingham and unboxing that about halfway through stream today. I don't think we'll finish the Gingham. I think that's going to take quite a bit more soldering than I have time for tonight. So we'll probably do that over this week and next week. But this is the Equinox. So hopefully we'll be all good. Assets avail. What assets do you want, Zambu? You tell me what you want and I can probably get you it. Who else have we got in chat today? I see we've got Anarchy and I know we've got Pona already as well. Lubed Helios. Tronic's got the first today as well, so thank you very much, Tronic's, for being first. Zambu says he's here for his boy Pona. Yep, fair. That's completely fair. We've got Alchemist KB here as well. Good evening. Anarchy and George as well here from the MK UK crowd. Odin as well. F error 1000 for me. It looks like it's alright from my perspective. Yeah, everything looks alright. Steady at 6000 kbps, so we should be okay. Sphere's here as well, so good evening. Talisman holding his lighter up. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you. Met Advice guy as well. Jeff Leopard saying it looks good. Yeah, the one thing that I do notice from the setup as well is that there is a bit of a disconnect between what you see on my face cam to what you see on my hand cam. So if I move my arm up, you'll see that there is a little bit of a lag. I'll fix that for next week, but we're just going to have to go with that for now, because I'll have to add a delay in for the sound tests and everything else as well. So it's going to be, you know, a fraction of a second out, but we'll get there. That lag is spooky. All right, okay, you've convinced me. Maybe I should fix it now. Let me try and fix that now. I only realised when I'd gone live that it was going to do that. Let me see if I can fix that. Filters. If I remember rightly, it's under render delay. Let me see if we can do it. No, it's not that. I can't remember what the setting is for it. Oh, video delay. Maybe it's video delay. Let's have a look. If I can't work it out, guys, we'll be fine for 1 week. Let's try 750 milliseconds. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, that's close enough. That's close. Let me just try adjusting that, and then we'll do the sound straight afterwards. And there's Olivia with the 21-month resub. Thank you very much, Olivia. Glad to see you again. Glad to see you. Okay, let me just adjust this filter a little bit more. Maybe it's 850. Love troubleshooting stuff with you guys live as well. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, that looks pretty good. See if we can get both on screen at the same time. And yeah, that looks pretty close. Okay. Now let's add that delay to the audio. And let me have a look. Okay, so that should all line up now, guys. You should see me speaking and hear me at the same time now. let me know if that's still out a little bit, and I'll tweak it again. Stream keeps pausing for you. I'm sorry, it seems to be fine from my end. 6,000 kilobits per second, just running steady away, I'm afraid, Sophia. Give you a wave. There you go. Hopefully that's alright. Working good now. Looks good. Excellent. So just big shout out to Olivia. Thank you very much for that. 21-month streak. Wow, that's crazy. J420, Twitch Prime sub for 3 months with a heart. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate that. George69, subscribed for 2 months, currently on a 1-month streak. And imagine a world where Top Clack isn't scuffed. Yeah, well, it's new stuff, guys. It's new stuff. So it's really hard to test stream this because we have to share the account, and the account has 2-factor authentication on it. So for me to test things from my side is much harder than it is for Brian to test things from his side. But we get there. How am I? I am incredibly warm. It's really warm here in the UK today, and I'm full of hay fever as well. So if I do need to reach for the tissues, I apologise in advance, guys. The fake J60, a budget tray mount case without 2 centre poles and reverse gasket mounted O-rings. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. WGMPC saying hello, how's it going? Good evening. Okay, I think the bot's pinged now, so we'll get into it. We'll get into it, and we'll talk about the board a little bit. So Pona did send me a couple of notes earlier on. So this is the Equinox board. So this is a 40% that he tried to design around being functional and usable with any key set, any standard key set. That's why it supports ISO enter, it supports split enter, it supports ANSI enter. Whatever you want to do, you can kind of do that in this cluster up here. It also supports 6U spacebar, and then it has 4 1.25U mods, as well as your standard 40% alphas and all of the rest of the stuff across there as well. The eagle-eyed of you will note that my PCB does have a scratch across it. Sadly, Customs scuffed this when they opened it with a box cutter. So the wrap that was all around this, they'd scored across it with a box cutter, and it had got through to the PCB. Luckily, I have tested it. It does work just fine, so we're okay on that front. I was a little bit disappointed, but it's not Pona's fault. It's just Customs for you getting things into the UK. In terms of the actual board itself, you'll note that this is plateless. It is a plateless build. You can add a plate if you want to add some additional rigidness and keep your keycaps more in line. But this is a completely, as you can see, plateless build. And we'll look at the mounting system when we start to open the board. Wing key blockers, always really nice to see, really nice to have, very aesthetic. I like that, and as you can see, the red is a lovely shade of red. It's very different to the red that's in the Prophet that we built last week, but it's a lot brighter than that, but it is still a really nice colour. Looking at the back of the board, you can see it's got a centre mount USB-C. I'll try and get that to focus a little bit for you guys. Come on, focus. There you go. Centre mount USB-C, which is a very, very tidy cut, if I do say so myself. It was really nice. Yeah, 1.6mm is the PCB. I can't turn it up any louder, guys, I'm afraid. It's literally all of my settings are at max volume. The microphone's at max volume. The Twitch overlay software that we use is at max volume. My PC is at max volume. My microphone physically can't be turned up any louder. I don't know what to tell you guys. I just can't get it to go any louder. So anyway, back to the board. If we look at the side angle, as you can see, it does have a nicely grooved out recess to help you picking up the board on an angle. You can see it is a 2-part mount design, and this is one of the early prototypes as well. Flipping over to the back side again, we just can see the USB mount that we talked about, sorry, the USB port that we talked about earlier on, and you can see that we've got the nice flat angled bevel on the back. On the base, 8 screw ports to hold the board together, nice and simple. Deep logo etched in there, that looks really nice. Really nice machining on that as well. It's probably not easy to show you, but that is really nicely machined. We might have to infill that at some point. So yeah, there we go. That's the board, guys. Really lightweight, but it feels solid, as anything made of value will do. So we'll take the board apart and I'll show you guys inside. Trying to keep up with chat. Yes, it is 1.6mm on the PCB. SA Yuri needs ISO support, guys. I haven't had a chance to have a look at it properly. I know I pasted the link into to Discord earlier on today, but I do need to take a little bit of a better look at that and see what the kits are, what they aren't. I did notice there was a dark alpha set, which might be quite nice. We've got West Foxtrot here as well. There's West Foxtrot's board from last week, and if you guys are interested in the cipher, guys, it goes into to group buy on Tuesday of this week on the 9th. So I know I built a cipher on stream a couple of months ago. I'm definitely going to be trying to join for round 2 because I wouldn't win in another colour. So do take a look at that. Move the microphone into your mouth. Yes, swallow it. Yeah, it's difficult to get it any closer, guys, because if I move it any closer, it just ruins the view and scrapes on my monitor as well. Hopefully that's a little bit better, but it might be in the way there. I hopefully won't bang it. So taking the case apart, look at the top case first. So you can see we've got the cutouts here for the USB port. I'll try and get this a little bit closer. And then you can see that we've got the blockers where they've been machined here as well. So they're obviously not quite as deep as the case, and that's because of where everything needs to sit. It's all looking good. There's also 4 alignment tabs just around the outside of the board as well that you can see, just to help when we're putting it together. Taking a look at the base, you can see that this is how the PCB mounts. So you've got 8 tabs, which is how the PCB mounts, which means that you've got a nice even key feel across it. Also the 4 mounting pins as well, as you can see, they are slightly raised off by a couple of millimeters. If I can get that to show on camera properly. Come on, focus. There you go, you can see that just there. Okay, take the PCB out. Okay. Telling me I am way louder than what I do for music and movies. I don't think I would be able to hear anything on my phone. Apologies, guys. I'll try and look into it for next week because everything is as loud as I can make it. There's not much else I can do. The only other thing I've got turned on is a filter for the game, so you guys don't hear my fan in the background. Let's just see if we can maybe reduce that. Okay, so that should make me quite a lot louder, but yeah, that should make me a lot louder, guys, but I don't want to blow your brains or anything like that. But you probably hear my fan in the background, so I do apologise for that. Woo, loads better. Sorry, guys, sorry. Yeah, okay, so we'll go with that then. That does seem a little bit too loud, actually. Let me just drop it down a touch. Okay. If the fan does sound loud in the background, tell me, and I'll tweak that again, because as I say, it is really, really warm here today. Anyway, so this is the PCB. As we mentioned before, it is 1.6 millimeters. Move this back down now. You can see we've got the Pona logo and the AIO3 logo, so this is a combined effort between the two of them, so you can see that just there. See that lovely scuff mark across the middle as well. Flipping it over as well, we can see we've got the Equinox. It says Equinox by Ion Keyboards and AIO3, and then Ion Keyboards and AIO3's website as well. So there we go. Lots of different options, as you can see. There's a ton of compatibility in the PCB. So there we go. Moving on to the bottom case, a couple of things I want to show here. So you can see that we've got some nice bits of nitrile rubber grommets in here, all the way around. They are about 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeters thick, something like that. Perhaps Pona can give us an exact amount. And then you can also see the brass internal weight. Now this is brass, but it is coated. You can feel a nice clear coat on there. You can probably see that actually if I angle the light on there. You can probably see that it's got a nice clear coat on. Again with the Pona Ion and the AIO3 logo as well. So there we go. That is the board. Any questions, guys? Any questions? John O'Warren saying there's an ISO entering the novelties, but yeah, an Audio UK kit would be nice. Oh, is this for SA Yuri? Yeah, I need to have a look at it properly. We'll probably cover it on the stream on Thursday. Zambumon says this is keyboard of the year, but we can't quote him on that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Everyone agreeing that the volume's better. I can hear you in my head. Well, Meister Grintepo, we've even made the same birthday cake, so that's pretty close. Finally, a keyboard that has the courage to move the half plate. I think there's been a few others, right, Zambu? There's been a few others. Didn't the Jer TKL? I'm pretty sure that was PCB mount. Nebula says, I can deal with a very small amount of fan noise if it means I can hear you. Fair enough. It's fine. Okay. Well, the fan is quite loud. I can hear it through my headphones. I don't have the noise cancelling on, but I can hear it through these. Any quarter plate available? Is that just going to cover, like, just here? Just like 2 vertical strips down the side? Swiss cheese. No, it's not Swiss cheese. There's plenty of compatibility, but it's pretty solid. I want a plate for just around my escape key. Needs to be solid for when I rage quit things. Fair enough. Fair enough. Zampermon's working on a quarter plate for Olivia. Fair enough. When will the group buy open? So we'll have to ask Pona that. I know it's coming. I don't know exactly when that's going to open. This was just, I think, 5 or 6 spot prototype rounds. So I got one. Chris Wire's got one. A few other people did as well. I think UPass was one of the others as well. Yeah, also the IDB 60 as well. I've got that just here. Yeah, I won't get it out, but yeah, I've got the secret 60 from Pingu, which is actually not my board, isn't that? That's actually Satanicist's board, but I think he's in here as Alchemist KB. So big shout out to him. Thank you very much for lending me that, dude. If we are the same person, we should share a collection. No. Don't think that's going to be fair either way. Someone says he's been noticed. We always notice you, man. We love to have you around. Were there input costs or anything on the Equinox? No. Well, I think there was a small amount just based on the shipping costs. So I think it was like £25 or something like that to get it here, plus the cost of the board. But I did have 2 boards shipped to me. I had mine and Chris Swire's, so realistically it probably should be about half of that. Because I had to pay the shipping cost for both effectively. So I got the import fees on both the values plus the shipping cost of 2. I have too many boards, should hand a few out. Well, we are doing a giveaway later on. It's not a board, but I am giving away something from the collection later on when I realised I had something, 2 of something. So we will be doing that shortly. We'll probably do that when we finish the Equinox build and before we move on to the Gingham unboxing and start. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But there will be a small giveaway later on, and I have prepped something for that. So we'll see when we get there. I think that's everything else that we were going to cover today. Pona's just messaged me and said I didn't fix the PCB. There is a slight jumper that needs running on the PCB that's been fixed for the production module. I haven't done that as yet, so when we build the board, I won't be testing it today, connecting it up and trying all the keys out. I'll do that off stream and later. We'll just put the board together, we'll test it from a sound perspective, and then we'll go from there. So yeah. Okay, so I think we've got up with chat. I think we've caught up with everything on the board. In terms of switches that I'm going to be using today, I am going to be using some vintage blacks, which have been lubed with Krytox 106 on the spring and the stem. So these are actually taken from another board. So I actually lubed these for another board a while back and then removed them. So we're going to be using these. Anakin says, from the Euro interest check, sorry, but I'm not supporting Colvrack and international kits anymore due to the chronicle of fulfillment of the MOQ for those kits. That a TR60 is what a TR60 this year? No, this is a Profit from Cable Car Designs, West Foxtrot, who's in the chat today. I do have a TR60, but mine is blue and it's got SA Nautilus on it at the minute. Okay, so that should be enough switches. I don't think we'll need any more than that. So in terms of the layout, guys, we are going to build this with ISO enter just because why not? So in terms of the enter cluster here, you can do a few different things. So you can have the ISO enter across here. You can have the ANSI enter and the standard pipe key above it. Alternatively, you can actually split both keys. So you can have key here, and then you can have a key here and a key here. So you can have 3 keys in that area if you really wanted to, which is effectively split any enter. So it's splitting the anti-enter for 1 key here and then 1 key there, 1.25 U key on the right, and then you still have your 1.5 U key above that. Or you could call it splitting the ISO enter because you'd still have the 1.5 U key there, 1.25 and 1. So depending on which way you look at it, you could do all 3 and split the enter either way. Just another way of splitting up that BAE enter footprint. But as I said, we're going to build this one with ISO. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pop the case to one side. And we are going to put the stabilizers together. And now, the interesting to note as well, and Pona was kind enough to send me a stabilizer for this. This is a 6U spacebar that this takes. So he sent me a wire for that, which was really, really kind of him because I didn't have one. So thank you very much for that, Pona. And as you can see, you can do either split space with a key in between, or you can do just full one spacebar at 6U, which just makes it more usable. So we're going to go with the 6U spacebar option today. First thing I'm going to do is just clip and lube these stabilizers. So as always, guys, I'll show you this on camera. So this is the insert for the stabilizer, and what we're going to do is we're going to clip 2 legs off. We're going to clip this bottom leg here, which is raised away from the base, and then we're also going to clip this leg in the top corner. So as I spin this round, you'll be able to see that that's also slightly raised from the base, just in this bottom corner now. We're going to take those 2 legs off, keep the 2 legs that are flush with the base, and then we're going to pop the stabilizer together. We'll quickly lube it with some 205 grade 0, and then we'll go from there. So here you go, guys. You should be able to see now that I've taken both of those legs off, and if I turn the angle, you can see that the base is completely smooth and flat. So just going to replicate that across the other inserts. Whoops. I wonder if anyone using a 40% keyboard would be crazy enough to use a numpad enter as a substitute for the ISO enter. You could do, but you'd end up with a gap. We can probably show you that later on. Actually, I can probably get a numpad enter key out and show you how that would look and how that would work. But it would look a little bit odd because you'd have gaps around the keys. Okay, that's 3 of these done, and on to the last one. JDU Speed Cube? No. I can solve a Rubik's Cube, but it takes me about 3 minutes or so. I'm not particularly quick, but then again, I don't think I do it in the right way. I had a Rubik's Cube when I was a kid, and it took me about 15 years to solve it the first time. And then I've kind of got my own method, which I don't think is the correct way of doing it. I don't think it actually follows any true method of doing them. Step caps lock. Alright, to fill the gap. Yeah, you could do. We do need to decide on whether we're going to use caps or step caps on the other side. Make a keyboard that is just using unused keys from GMK sets. That's why it supports ISO. Hey! Okay. So as I say, we're going to put these together and we're going to lube them with 205 grade 0. So I'm just going to slide the inserts into the housings. And just to show you guys how this is, so on one side of the insert you've got 2 holes. You can see there, that's got 2 holes, one that you can see all the way through and one that you can't. If you turn that over, it's just got 1. So you want the side with 2 holes to the front, and then on the housing you'll see that there's one side that's got the wire clip in and one side that's got the screw port in. The side that's got the wire clip in, that's the front, so you want the 2 holes to go into the housing where the clip is at the front, so you see it like that. There we go. So I'm just going to pop 2 of these together ready for the spacebar. Make sure in the right orientation. Mr. Petrov's here as well, saying, "Evening, Jay. How hyped are you for the IM165? I'm really hyped for that board, guys. I really like the look of it. I like the design. I like the thought that's gone into it. I really want one. I'll be honest. I can't lie. I really, really want one. So I'm just going to put some 205 grade 0 on the stabilizer wire here. Not too much, just a small amount. And then what we're going to do is we're going to push this into the stabilizer housing. We're going to go into that bottom hole inside first. So I'll just show you this, guys. We're going into the bottom hole inside there. We're going to push that until it clicks in, like so. And then we're going to clip the wire into the front, like that. And then you see that's all there together. We're going to then quickly do the other side of this. So again, putting a small amount of lube just on the wire. And then we're going to pop this into the housing again. And then there we go. So that's the 6U stabilizer now all purposefully put together. We'll quickly do the 2U stabilizer for the ISO enter key, and then once we've done that, we'll I'm not sure what's going on with the music, why it keeps switching tracks, but it's slightly frustrating. But once we put this one together, we'll lube the rest of the stabilizers, and then we'll carry on the build from there. Okay. So West Foxtrot says yes, no alphas. What would we use if we didn't have alphas? If we didn't have any alphas, what would we use? Oh god, no. Who hurt you? Who hurt me? Into the bottom hole. Hey! Link for the iron. Max, I don't think it's for you. I don't think you'll like it, I'll be honest. But I hope you do. I hope you do. The Bizzle King, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub, saying hello Jay for 22 months. Thank you, man. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate that. Okay. It's one side done. We'll just do the other side, and then these will be put together. There we go. That's all nicely put together. So I'm just going to loop the rest of those in a second. We'll just catch up with chat. What Jay Lubin stabs with 205 grade 0? Yes, I've put my dielectric grease in the garage because I was using it for something on the car, the steering wheel. I took the steering wheel off and I was reapplying it, and I just put some lube around it, and I've left it in the garage, and I keep forgetting to get it. So yeah, so this is the best I had on hand. I don't mind using 205 grade 0. I just prefer to use dielectric grease because it's significantly cheaper than 205 grade 0, and I'd rather save this for my switches. Okay, so I'm just going to paint a small amount on either side of the slider. Do that on both sides. And then once you've done that, we'll take a small blob, and we're just going to go into the back and paint it around the stabilizer wire. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Always remember it's easier to add more later on if you need to than it is to take away. Now we've done that, we're just going to paint around the front corner here, just to make sure that any movement on the plastic parts gets lubricated nice and easily. Just spare numpad keys. Yeah, a whole thing of numpad keys. Here to check if the stories are true. People actually do use ISO. Zambu knows that I use ISO. That's a known thing. Talisman Solution says J-Cube's Rubik Cube solution no doubt involves unconventional use of index finger to rotate parts. I do use my index fingers. What I can't do on the Rubik's Cube actually is I can never like do the back layers myself. So when I'm soldering, I literally just use my forefingers to do all of my turns. Or I do them like this, depending on which way you want to do it. So I kind of do it like that, or I'll use my forefinger depending on what move I'm doing. But I can't. I'm not one of these that can kind of use my little finger to flick it around the back. I just can't comprehend how people can do that. It takes far too much skill. Just resolve this. There we go. Okay, so now we've done the sides. We've gone into the back of the wire. I'm just going to put a small amount of lube just on the base of each housing. So I'm literally just going to paint a small amount on the base of each one there. There we go, that's one. Move over onto the second one now. Where's Foxtrot doesn't like any keyboards. I don't know, you liked a few. You've liked a few, man. We've talked about a fair few that you've liked. I've been noticed again. Zambu, you're always noticed. Please let's not start that argument. There's no arguments today, man. No arguments at all. I thought you were good with your fingers. I've got strong fingers, not necessarily agile fingers. There is a difference. Okay. Okay. So I've got plenty on my brush, so I'm just going to do the base whilst I've got plenty on the brush. And then do this side really quickly. There we go. So that's our stabilizers lube. There is only the 2 stabilizers on this build. When can we not just be cunts to each other? Exactly. Yeah, we all should get on. We should all get on. We've got Soren here as well. Good evening, Soren. Good to see you. I saw a video of a kid doing a Rubik's Cube blindfold in a minute or so. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So pianist and surgeon off the table. Yeah. So my fingers are short and fat and strong. Give me a bolt. I'm great at undoing a bolt. Give me anything that needs finesse. Yeah, I'm probably not your guy. Okay, so that's the stabilizers all lubed and clipped together. So now we're just going to pop these into the board. As I say, we are using the 6U full-size spacebar on this one, so there's only one slot for that to go. And as you can see, that is right here. If it focuses, there we go. So you can see that there. It's nice and flush with the PCB. So now we're going to screw those together. And again, when you're tightening these up, guys, you don't want to go too tight. You are just literally trying to hold the stabilizer in place. You're not trying to crush the PCB or break the stabilizer itself. You don't want to over tighten. These are self-tapping screws, so that means they're cutting into the plastic to create their own grooves as you screw them. So you don't want to go too hard. You don't want to strip them. You just want it to be finger tight. Even when you tag TC and you go and notice... Oh, Met advice, guys. Sorry, I do apologise. Speaking of keycaps, what's your opinion on keycap grab bags? I used to really, really like the SA profile. When I first got into the hobby, SA was what I used. I didn't really use GMK for quite a while. Suffice to say, I've moved away from that and I've moved pretty much solely onto GMK alone. At the time, I used to buy grab bag keys, not because I wanted to complete sets, but because I used to do a few vomit sets, and adding them on used to just give me the opportunity to have different coloured enters and mods and things like that, and I got a fair few sets out of it, or a fair few accent keys as well. So I think it's alright. I think they're a bit expensive really. I probably wouldn't buy them now, but I used to buy quite a lot of them. I know a lot of people used to buy them for DSA keycaps as well. So I don't think there's anything wrong with either, to be honest. Okay, I'm just going to screw these two together now. Salvan CNC is here. Hey man, says, does spring-loaded sabs actually exist? Asking for a friend. No, but that'd be an interesting proposition. Or at least as far as I know, they don't exist on any modern board yet. Anyway. Jay the Jam Jar opener. Yeah, absolutely. So switch. Yeah, I've actually seen a couple of people use fully open plates, so plates that have got, you know, the whole bottom row is kind of open, and they've had 3 switches in there, and they've just positioned them where they need to be for a space bar. But I think you have to have a PCB that has either been designed for that or is incredibly compatible, shall we say, so it looks like Swiss cheese and you've got just tons of options. Personally, I don't think I'd want to have 3 switches holding my space bar up. That probably wouldn't feel right to me, but we do need better solutions and more options for stabilizers in general, I think. Cat and MDA look interesting as profiles, but so few options at this point. Yeah, I do have Cat Alpha somewhere lying around. I really like it. I like DSS as well. I love the sculpt of DSS. I just don't like the feel of the keycaps. They are too rough for me. They're really rough. I'm not a fan at all. That's the stabilizers placed into the board. So now we've done that, we're going to start to pop the switches in. Bearing in mind, guys, that this is PCB mount switches, because there is no plate, so we are using PCB mount switches. These are vintage blacks, and we are going to have a problem with some of these not holding in, I think. So we may need to do a round of soldering just to tack these in place. Let's just see how well these will hold. They'll just about hold. We'll have to push them flat, but they'll be alright. I should have tested how tight these held, to be honest. I mean, there's no wiggle on them. They're just not 100% held tight into the PCB. Oops. I have considered getting grab bags so many times, but just the thought on shipping and import is terrifying, almost as much as a new key set. Yeah, it is quite a lot. Rama stabs when? I would love to try some Rama stabs, so hopefully soon. Okay, so I think we're going to have to almost go switch by switch on this and solder one leg in for each switch, just because they are so loose in this, but that's fine. We can do that. We need new hover technology. Always need new technologies. I'm just going to move the case out of the way, guys, so I can bring my soldering in. There we go. So to say, what we're going to do is just going to put each switch in by turn. We're going to pin it down in place, and then we're just going to solder one leg of it, and then we'll just go as quickly as we can with all of the second pins afterwards. So we're just depressing the switch, holding it in place, letting the solder melt, keeping it depressed until the solder solidifies, and then we'll move on to the next one. What soldering iron do I have? This is a TS100 with multiple different tips. I've got a few different tips depending on what I'm doing. I do have a chisel tip for some through hole and other different types of soldering, but I'm just using a rounded tip at the minute. Salvan's going to make some spring-mounted stabs. If you want someone to try those out, man, I would love to try them. If you manage to do that, dude, I would love to try them. You also need to get back to me on our little sandblasting project as well. And I actually need to talk to you about media for sandblasting as well, because I've got a small sandblasting cabinet here in my garage, and I might want to talk to you about potentially sandblasting plastics. Put the switches in, then use tape to hold the switches into. Yeah, it means going and finding tape. We'll just go this way. It's a small board, it won't take us too long. You can just snip off everything on the bottom. There we go. Let's be honest, guys, this isn't going to take too long anyway. It's a 40% board. Equinox is a cool small little board. I'm honestly really impressed with this board. I think it's great. I don't usually use 40%, but the TMO 50 converted me to small boards, and I'm going to give this a shot as my travel board for a couple of weeks and see how we get on. It might even make it to Seattle with me. I'll have to see how that goes. As you can see, guys, I'm just depressing the switch to hold it in position whilst I'm soldering the leg in, moving the soldering iron away whilst I'm still depressing everything into place, letting everything solidify, and then moving on. Oh, here we go. Someone's going to post the TMO 50 meme text here. I'm waiting for it. I can see it coming. I can see it coming, dude. Is there a difference on plate mount versus PCB mount? I just noticed. I don't know if I've seen PCB mount built before. So the difference between plate mount and PCB mount switches is on the base of them. You can see that you've got the standard pins. Let me get this centered. Sorry, you've got the standard pins here and here. But what you've also got on the base is you've got the middle lump, and that's the standard on all switches. But on PCB mount switches, you've got these additional little legs on the side. So there's one on either side, and what they're designed to do is they're designed to hold on to the PCB effectively. So there we go. There we go. The Zampa one's been noticed again. Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on. I'm trying to keep an eye on chat today. Quantum Butts here as well. Hello, man. Hello. So I think what we'll do is we'll probably do the giveaway once I finish this this soldering before we put the board together, and then we'll move on to the Gingham straight afterwards from Yankana. Can you talk about the Nord and Dracula keycap sets? Yeah, I can. I like both of them, both based on IDE themes. I think if I was going to pick one, I'd probably pick Nord myself. I think that's the nicer theme for me. But both are really nice. I suspect both will do well. I will say that Dracula had a really, really, really well written interest check. I thought that was quite cleverly done. But yeah, I think my personal preference is going to be on the Nord keycap set. Designed to keep the switch aligned when soldering, otherwise without a plate alignment would be off. Yes. Yeah, so I'm not worried too much about alignment. I think that's going to be fine. We can always tweak it afterwards if we need to as well. But what I'm doing here is I'm just soldering one pin in, and then if anything is too far off, we can adjust it before we solder the second one. Can you also talk about the Dolch.cr? I ordered one. I'm waiting for its shipping. Yeah, so it's that's basically a replica of the old Dolch boards, right? If I remember rightly. I think that's been run by Oh, I can't remember who's running that. I'm not sure if that's being run through Alf or one of those other studios out there. Maybe Grey Studios, I can't remember. I know Oldcat was involved, but it does look nice. I think I might have one of the old Dolch CR boards somewhere in storage. I'll have to have a look and check. Carry with Alf, yeah. I thought it was, yeah, something like that. One Creative Minds here as well. Hey man, good to see you, dude. Jay, soldering cables and watching a build stream makes for a nice Sunday afternoon. Good to hear it, man. Good to hear it. It's Sunday evening here. It's 8:45 in the evening. I had a nice dinner with my wife earlier on, and now I'm spending time with you, fantastic people. Brick Cube here as well, saying great stream. Thank you, man. Wit Sellers is here too. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the ISO enter. And then hold this one in place. There we go. Meister Green Seppo here too. Nod looks awesome. Signed up on IC immediately. Yeah, I really like the look of Nod. It's a little bit more muted than Dracula. I think Dracula's probably a touch too bright for me. Chu Manchu Mandui is here saying, is Sheila allowed out of the shed on Sunday afternoons? She doesn't work on Sunday. Sorry, man. Sorry, dude. Type Dream says, Jay, you sexy MF. What lube for springs? Preferably something that won't separate, so it'll last a long time. Crytex 106. I nearly always use 106 for springs, yeah, because it's my favourite. My favourite for springs. I think it removes any chance of ping or anything like that. It always feels really good. Big shout out to Tyson there as well. Thank you very much for the subscription with Twitch Prime. 7 months now, dude. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we're just going to make our way across on the second row. So again, just pinning the switch in place, soldering one leg. Let's forget enough solder on there. Come on, there we go. That'll do. But yeah, Crytex 106 definitely for springs for me. But again, there's no right or wrong answer with these things, guys. It's all preference. So if you like something different, that's completely valid as well. Bent pin on that one. Pick another switch. This is where it starts to get much harder to pin the switches in position. Okay, there we go. Tyson saying thanks. There we go. Or Type Dream, sorry, saying thank you. There we go, dude. My watch is going crazy. Pings from a different forum, car forum this time. Okay, so there we go. Max, you never came back with what you thought on the Iron 165 board. You never came back with your thoughts on that, dude. I would be interested to hear what you think. If West Foxtrot's still around, I'm not sure if he's disappeared or not. Okay, almost there now. Met Advice says, Jim K Nord is really nice, just so sad that they don't support 40%. I thought they were adding that, or is that just me misremembering? I can't recall. I could have sworn that I'd seen that they were adding it. Perhaps I'm wrong. Natty is here as well, saying evening. Good evening, good sir. Good to have you on board. I appreciate this, guys. That isn't as fast as my normal soldering, but that's because we're just having to pop the switches in and do one pin at a time. But we will get there. There we go. Didn't see anything in the IC about it. Maybe it might be another set I'm thinking of. C Rement says also comes down to which 40% they do or don't support. That's very true. Yeah. They have another in the G form. You can free form enter it. Okay, maybe that's what I've seen. Or maybe it's not at all. I could have sworn that I'd seen someone mention something about that. Perhaps it was on Discord. Perhaps someone was just going to mention it and it's not actually part of that set. Okay, just a couple more switches left to go in this row. OEO subscribed at tier 1. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much for the sub. Really appreciate that, dude. Okay. Then here we can decide on stepped caps or full. I'm probably going to go for the full key here, I think. Okay, there we go. Second row done now, guys. We're getting there. Cyber Sam subscribed with Twitch Prime for 14 months. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Full key and use it as control. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do, to be honest. It probably is going to be control. But I use control on the HHKB layout as well, so I'm used to that. Hey, the events list is working. When was that fixed? Over the weekend, it just decided to start working, so yeah, we're using it. No step caps lock. I'm going to use it as control Zambu, so don't worry your head too much. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next row. So this is where we're going to have split left shift. 40%, always an idea to have an additional key there. Just makes it a little bit more usable for me. No stepped. Shaking my head. Oh well. Oh well. I agree. You can agree all you like, guys. No right or wrong answers in this hobby. Okay. Just gonna carry on moving along this row, and then we'll do the spacebar row afterwards. Have to remind me to remember that there are blockers on this case, so I don't want to put switches where the blockers are. There's an interesting point actually, Pona. I can't recall from when we looked at the IC if you're going to do different tops for this, or if it's just going to be the wing keyless blocker top that I have. Can't recall what we said on that. Sphere Wolf says, does anybody know how to clean a brass weight? Yeah, there's a couple of ways. Lemon and bicarbonate of soda works quite well. If you want to go a little bit more harsh and potentially risk changing the look a little bit, you could use something like Brasso. And then the final, more harsh option is to sandblast it and clear off any patina that way. Yeah, ketchup might work as well for raw brass. Anything that's got a slight, mild abrasive to it. So toothpaste works quite well as well. Anything like that, or anything that's got a slight bit of acidity to it. I'm currently rebuilding the 50 from the plateless 40% design into a more normal 60% with a brass plate. Can't believe the quality you got for the price on the 60. Have you tried it? I haven't tried it, no. It's a board that I haven't tried. I know that Met Advice Guy has one. I've tried his at a meetup, but I haven't owned one or built one or anything like that, I'm afraid. George saying you can mutilate stack caps and move the stem to the middle. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not going to mutilate anything. Oh, it's the 50 you've got, not the 60. Oh, okay, okay. I remember trying one of your boards at the meetup. It was a the board. Okay. Oops. Yeah, it's the same guy. Yeah, it's the same series of boards, right? Baking soda and lemon juice, worth a try. Yeah, it does work, yeah. Vinegar doesn't on its own. No, not on it depends on the vinegar you've got. Don't try malt vinegar. I mentioned vinegar once to someone. They tried malted vinegar and they wondered why everything was being stained brown. So if you're going to use it, use white spirit vinegar. Making some good progress now, guys. Almost there. Elbow grease and brass. So yeah, depending on how the brass is manufactured, made, what kind of coating it's got, how much patina it's got, that can be, it can have varying results. Is what I would say. Again, Pona, if you're here, I know that the brass in the base of this has been sandblasted and then it's been clear coated. I'm not sure what it's been clear coated with. It looks just like normal clear coat to me. You can do that to brass once you've got it clean as well if you don't want it to tarnish or patina or age. Okay. I need to work out what I'm doing with switches in this area here because there's multiple different options. ZXC, ZXCV, BNM. So that's there. And then we just need to work out from here how we're going to do the rest of it. Great tip, if you have a brass part, you can use wax to protect it. Cow wax works very well on polished parts. Oh no, good to know, good to know. I think I've messed that one up. Actually, we might need to remove that switch. But that's okay. We've got the 1U on the end here. And then we'll just heat that switch up and remove it. Just going to remove this switch. There we go. And it's going to go in the middle like so. Okay, solder this pin back. There we go. Okay, now we're on to the bottom row. And we've got the blockers here, so we're going one here, one there, one there, and then we're going to go for the 6U spacebar as well. Just going to quickly solder that one in. There we go. Leave a gap for the blocker, then we're going to move on to this switch just here. There we go. Salva, when you mentioned the car wax, is there any particular brand of car wax you'd recommend, or is just any car wax fine? I'm heavily into detailing my car at the minute, so if there's any specific type you recommend. I assume it'd be similar to how I protect my chromed parts on the cars. Okay, there we go. Not really, you think any will do. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. What do you think of a heavy switch for the spacebar? I quite often do that. Quite often put a heavy switch in. Now, if I remember rightly, this is where the switch needs to go. I might just grab the spacebar now. So I'm going to use GMK's black on white keycap set from Drop. And the one key that I need is the spacebar, which is separate. I'm just going to pop that into the space bar like so. Okay, so there you go, you can see we need to be in this particular place here. Okay, there we go. So what we're going to do now, guys, is just take a look at all of these switches, see if any look slightly misaligned. Assuming they don't, and I don't pull this one out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and solder all the second pins, so everything looks like it's nice and flush with the PCB. As you can see, everything looks nice and flush from the back and from the front, and then from the sides as well. Yeah, white on black. Yeah, that's what we are using today. Surf Fortuna, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub, 2 months now. Thank you very much. When will you put flares on it? Flares on what? The Datsun. Oh, I don't want to ruin it. It's a classic car, man. It looks great as it is. I'm not going to ruin it by adding anything extra to it. Keep it all original if I can. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and solder the rest of these switches now. This is just a case of just soldering all of the remainder of the pins. We'll try and get this done as quick as we can. Okay. And then guys, from here, once we've started to put the board together, before we put the keycaps on, we will do a small quick giveaway. As I say, it's only a really small prize today, guys. It's nothing major. I realised that I'd got something duplicated in my collection, and rather than sell it or give it away in any other way format, I thought I'd give it away on stream. Man, I'm going to have to change this playlist for next week as well. I'm not particularly happy with the way the music keeps changing tracks. Okay. Making some good progress now, guys. Almost there. The link in your panel to the website goes to a login page. The site invite only is just down. It's just down at the moment because we're changing across all of the logos and setup and everything else. It should be live tomorrow, all being well. We've got a few last tweaks that need to be made to the settings. Those should be done later on today. I'm going to come back to that switch because we've got a bent pin on that one, so I might just have to pull that switch out and replace it. And then, as I say, I do need to jump the PCB, but I will do that later on off stream, according to Pona's instructions. So I won't be testing this one on stream, so there'll be no need to have switch hitter up or anything today. Okay. Mr. Petrov, 1001 bits. Apparently his voice is going to be used for his passport, so thank you very much for that, dude. Anarchy, thank you very much for responding on that one. Yeah, it is just that the website's not fully set up yet with the refresh going on. So I'm just going to try and remove this switch really quickly and fix the bent pin. Well, rather than fix the bent pin, I'm just going to change the switch because I've got quite a few of these. Okay, and there we go. That is the soldering finished for this particular board anyway. There we go. Oh, I don't have a command for the iron, but it is a TS100. Yeah, thank you very much for Derza confirming that. MetaAdvice says, okay, I've been wondering, why do you have the social media logos in the bottom of the stream that are non-clickable? IMO only takes away from watching what's going on. They will be clickable using the overlay function in Twitch soon.tm. We will get there. We'll make them clickable from the actual stream, and we can add them onto the videos on YouTube as well when we actually get around to doing that. Okay guys, that's the PCB all soldered together, all looking nice and deep and dark with the black. Hope you guys appreciate that. All looks rather tasty and rather nice. They should also line up with the relevant logos in the section below the video too. At the moment they're not even above the same logo in the lower area. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. I think that will depend on your browser width, because depending on how wide you have the browser, we'll rearrange them. So I'll take a look at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Petrov. Okay guys, time to put the plate back in the case. And then once we've put this back in the case, we'll screw it all together. And before we put keycaps on, we'll look at the giveaway. Okay. What a slick look. It does look really nice, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm really happy with this board already. So I'm just going to screw this one in just so it's finger tight, and I'm going to then use this for aligning. Now the board has got alignment pins on it, as I showed you earlier on, so it's going to make it really nice and easy to put together. So that one's just finger tight. Then we're going to go diametrically opposed up into the top corner, and this is where we'll then use the tightening force of this one to pin it into place where everything's nice and smoothly even. So I'm checking the side here at the back. You can see I'm stroking my finger up and down, and at the side here to make sure everything's as aligned as it can be. Fully tighten that one up. Come back around here, fully tighten that one up, and then we're good to go on the rest of the board. Is this a full-size keyboard? No, this is a 40% keyboard, which means it contains approximately 40% of the number of keys that are contained in a full-size board. Will I be infilling the logo at some point? For this one, possibly, yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes when the logos are quite large, like this one, I'm not sure infill looks great. I think the Prophet was probably the largest logo I've done with infill, but I thought that one looked quite nice. We'll see how we get on. It's as full size as it absolutely has to be. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so I can feel that one's starting to bind. I'm just going to pull it out and go back again. Oh, the order's different as well. Okay, okay. I'm not sure. Brian added the Twitch cards while I did all of the stream layouts, which he then went and changed. So, 10 Strong's here as well, saying sup man. I wonder if someone can create a keyboard that only has one key. Hey man, one key macro pads exist. They're already out there, dude. They're already out there. Yeah, so you can have it do different things depending on how many times you tap it and things like that. They do exist, do one key macro pads. Preferred tightening order, diametrically opposed, counter diagonally, rotational counter opposing, cross corresponding non-sequential, and counter crosswise. Yeah, absolutely. Okay guys, so there we go. That's all put together. So I'll put some keycaps on there in just 1 second. I'll move these switches out of the way. I'm just going to put these bump-ons on the base of the board as well. As you can see, Pona's kindly included 4 spare screws, just in case they're needed, and also 2 spare screws for the weight as well. Even if the links are clickable in the future, it's kind of sad that this is a middle where your hands come from the bottom instead of out to the side where it's not in the way. But again, it's just one opinion. Thanks, man. I'll take that on board. I'll have a chat with Brian, see what he thinks. Small ISO macro pads are the best. Yeah, I want to get my hands on one of those ISO boards from Simon. Is there an estimated price for this? I'll leave that to Pona to confirm. I'm not sure if the price I paid for the proto round would be the same as the full version. So Brian might be lurking. Does Equinox use a 6U spacebar? Yeah, so it's got a 6U spacebar in, but if you look at the PCB here, you can see that you do have the option to, if it focuses, so it's going to, there we go. You can see that it's you have the option to do split space as well, so you can have one key here, a key in the middle, and then another split spacebar on the other side. So there we go. So that's the board all put together now, guys, all screwed together, and looks rather nice. Now I'll put some keycaps on it in a second. I did say I'm going to put GMK white on black on there, which I'm really looking forward to doing. But now what we're going to do is we're going to do the giveaway. So this is a really small giveaway. I was looking through my collection earlier on, and I did give people a clue. I posted a bag of Bassett's Murray Mints. That was the clue as to what the giveaway was for. But it's actually for a Polymer Salon Murray. So this is for an artisan keycap. So I have 2 of these in the exact same colourway, and rather than trade it on or do anything else with it, I thought it best to give it away. So this is a creamsicle Murray. I'll hold that up to the camera so you can get a nice view on it there. And we'll be giving that away in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to use Nightbot to decide who the winner of this is. And they just need to contact me. I'll cover postage. There's no charge for the key or anything like that. It's a complete giveaway. The only thing you need to do is just be active in chat. I'm just going to double check that everything is here. Yeah, okay, so everything, I'm on the screen now, so anyone who posts now in the next couple of minutes while I'm putting keycaps on this board, you will be included. I'm going to leave it nice there, front and centre. That is the giveaway, a Murray Creamsicle colourway. And we've got 20 eligible users entered for this, so I'm going to put the keycaps on. You have until I finish putting the keycaps on to just post in chat. It will keep you 5 minutes, so as long as I'm less than 5 minutes, it'll keep you in chat. I'll keep you included in the giveaway. This is where I hate GMK trays. Ah, there we go. So frustrating. These just don't want to come apart. There we go. GMK really needs to come up with a better solution for these cases, I think. Okay. Put the cap on the Equinox. Yeah, I might do actually. I could do. I'll let you guys vote for where it can go. Okay. What are we talking about? Very active. Good luck, gang. Yeah, good luck to everybody. You just need to be active in chat. You don't need to type anything specific. There's no command. Just anyone who's typed in chat will, within 5 minutes, will be included. So there's 43 eligible users right now, it's telling me. I don't need to, considering I'll have like 90 spare caps from the key set I have, but it would be awesome. That white and black going to look nice on the red. Yeah, that was the aim. Dude, I thought it looked quite nice personally, so that's why I went with it. Where did the spacebar come from? The spacebar is just a 6.0 U spacebar, 6U spacebar that comes with the key set. That's part of the key set. Met Advice Guy says there is a better solution than GMK trays. Put them in an IKEA bag. Yeah, you can do that. ISO and full spacebar. Yeah, ISO and full spacebar. Yeah, that's how we've gone on this build. Do have a 1.25U shift key here. Mr. Petrov, Top Clack, I see you. Yeah, I see you too, man. And I'm pretty sure you're talking to Brian. If Top Clack wins this, which we shouldn't do because it should exclude us automatically, Brian does not get the polymer salon cap. Yeah, Brian's watching. Brian's lurking. Are you planning on grabbing a Polaris, Jay? Yes, I would like to grab a Polaris. I think it looks really good. I might not have worked today, so I'm just stalking. Fair enough. Put the keycap on the in-dash radio in the Datsun. Yeah, I could do. I'm going to put it on the FN key here. That's where I'm going to put it. It's a shame it doesn't have a red eye to match the board. And I know it's the wrong profile, but there we go. That's the first time it's ever been mounted as well, guys, and it won't be mounted on anything else before I ship it out. Okay. There we go. Now I just need the short shift key. Why can't I see it? There it is. There we go. So here we go, guys. This is the Equinox from Pona with full spacebar, ISO enter, giveaway Murray on the FN key, red case, and GMK white on black with Vint black switches, which have been lubed with Krytox 106. It's a brand new key set. So there we go. That looks great. I really like it. Equinox logo on the base. Maybe I'll infill that later, not today. May definitely have to have a look at that. USB-C. Board does need a slight jumper running because it's a prototype PCB, but other than that, there we go. So we'll do a sound test in a short while. Again, I'm going to struggle. I'll have to take off my headset for a couple of minutes as well to be able to do that so I can hear what I'm hearing on the board. But we'll do that in a couple of minutes. First, what I want to do is run the giveaway. So at the minute we've got 55 eligible users. You've got about 30 seconds to post if you haven't in the last 5 minutes. There's quite a lot of people on there. I can see quite a lot of names in there. There's no extra look if you're a subscriber or anything like that. This is completely open and fair. Looks so good. Everyone posting. Just curious what you're using as backspace. I haven't decided. I'm probably going to have the ISO enter. So tap will be backspace and hold will be enter. I'm probably going to do it that way. How does the board look? Oh, your board. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, DNL. Your board. I haven't even got to it, dude. It's not even in the office at the minute. It's somewhere else. I'll open it and take some pictures. So DNL sent me a board to build in a couple of weeks' time. I'll take some pictures, dude, and send it to you. I haven't even had a look yet. Just split the spacebar. No, I like the full spacebar. The full spacebar is nice. Okay, guys. Right, I'm gonna roll it now. So if you aren't in now, there's 51 eligible users. 52 now. It has dropped slightly, so make sure you've posted in the last 5 minutes if you haven't done now. I'm gonna roll it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. John O'Warren, following since the 1st of May 2019. Thank you very much, dude. You are the winner. So there we go, John O'Warren. If you're in chat, he's posted woo. There we go, dude. You know how to reach out to me. You can hit me on the MK. I know you're on MK UK. You can hit me up on MK UK Discord server, and send me your address, and I'll get the cap shipped out to you. So there you go. That is your prize. The creamsicle Murray artisan keycap. So there we go. Well done, Jono. Thank you very much for that, dude. Okay, I'm going to move off that screen before I do anything damaging. Press enter again or something like that. So there we go. So thank you very much for that, dude. Well done. Okay, I'm going to take my headset off now. I'm going to pause the music just for a second. There we go. I'm going to pause that for a second, and then we're just going to give the board a quick sound test. Let's see what we think. Okay, so that's a really, really clean sound. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I like the sound of it, so it sounds really, really clear, really clean. I am quite hammering on this as well, but these are Vint black switches, lubed with Krytox 106. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys can see this from above, but there is a fair amount of movement to the board as I'm typing. So if I just rest my finger here, there is a fair amount of movement when I press. It's a little bit softer on the bottom out. It's really comfortable to type on. It's a shame. I'm not sure if I can show you how much that is moving around, but there is quite a bit of movement to it. Really, really nice. It sounds great. I'm really impressed with the sound. It's nice and clear. There's no plate causing any issues. There's a mark on the F key. Brand new keys, and there's a mark on the F key. Look, I don't know if you guys can see that. I have to try and clean that up. How bizarre. So yeah, but I think this looks great, guys. You have to let me know what you think. Yeah, it sounds really clean, Brian. Yeah, it's really clean. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Okay, so that's the first build over today. If you guys have got any questions about the Equinox, do feel free to hit up Pona or join his Discord server. Pona, feel free to share any links to that if you want to in here, or to your interest check or anything else. More than happy for you to do so. So what are the switches? The switches are vintage blacks. These are vint blacks taken from some old Weiss boards. They're being thoroughly cleaned. They're not. They've not got springs or something. They've got the stock springs. They have been lubed with Krytox 106, and they've not been filmed or anything else like that. These are pretty much stock, just cleaned and lubricated, and that's pretty much it. Contact MD about it. You can maybe get a $5 voucher. It might just be something on the Keycap. I'm not sure. I might be able to get that off, I don't know. I'll have a look at it. It could be one that's just failed to pass QC or something like that, I don't know. I can always change it for the barred ones, which I don't really like, but yeah, I think that looks great. So that's the first build of today done, guys. The next thing we're going to do is move on to take a look at the Gingham. So this is the new board inspired by the Plaid from... sorry, I'm just going to have to put this away. Inspired by the Plaid from Yankar. So I'll just pop this key set away so I don't drop it on the floor and have keys everywhere. Got to love these GMK trays. Man, these are fantastic quality, aren't they, guys? These are just so good. Great keycaps. Shame about the trays. Okay. Let's just get that all put together. There we go. Okay, so I'll get the music back on now, guys. LBI by saying, wait, they're from a Weiss board? No way, Weiss are always plate man. That's the person I got them from told me they're from a Weiss board, and that was Chris Swires, so I'd be very surprised if they weren't. But these are plate mount switches, so unless he's got them confused with something, then that's what he told me they were from. Although I did the lubing, they were just straight from those boards. Anarchy says, as good as SP's bags. Yeah, at least the keycaps don't scratch against each other. I think that is just dirt on that one from what I can see. It looks like something just on the top of the keycap. Let me see if I can just... Yeah, no, maybe it is the double shotting. Maybe it is the double shotting just peeping through. I'll reach out to Mastrop and I'll let them know. But as I say, we are going to move on to start to take a look at the Gingham. So as I say, this is inspired by the Plaid, and Yankar has gone pretty much all out in terms of boxing for this. So he's gone with the whole Gingham pattern on the box. This has never been opened before. Straight Classy, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub, 6 months, currently on a 6-month streak. Thank you very much for that, dude. Really appreciate that. So as you can see, this is from Yankar Designs, through hole 60. Design in Cambridge. Yankar has a thing for ducks, so if anyone does know Yankar, speaking to him, send him a duck picture, he would absolutely love that. And then if we turn it over, just on the bottom we've got the original hand stamps. This is 30 out of I think 100 or 200 that he's done, with a handwritten Yankar signature as well, with a 60% KBD, so all out on the boxing. Looks really good. As I say, this is a Plaid inspired board, so it is very similar to the Plaid design, slightly different in some subtle ways. Just going to move these additional screws and things out of the way. Okay. So as I say, I did unbox one of these in the pub the other day, so if anyone does want to watch that video, I'll post it onto the top Clack and put in announcements later on. It's a short 2-minute video where Yankar, West Foxtrot, who's in chat, and Toby, who's a joint friend of ours, did actually do a fake unboxing video, as it were. They talked through what the board was like, and they did the whole welcome guys, here we've got the Gingham, here we go unboxing, and they did it all through. It was a very, very funny video. We did it in the pub after a few beers, so I will share that with you guys, and I'll get that up on the announcements page later on today in the Top Clack Discord server. But as I say, this is fully sealed. This has never been opened, so this is the first time opening it. Conscious that I don't want to destroy this duck sticker if I can help it, because I kind of want to reuse it. Oh no, it's torn. Oh well. I might have to get Yankar to send me some more of these duck stickers, because they are really cute. So Yankar has gone all out on the boxing design. These are available through Novel Keys as well, if you do want to pick them up through Novel Keys. And I think there's also Mechboards UK selling them as well. Box is mad cute. Yeah, the box is mad cute. Like the boxing, yeah. So you open it up, and inside we have a layer of foam. Underneath that layer of foam, we have pretty much everything you could possibly need to complete the build. So all nicely CNC'd out of dense foam. We've got bags of components and bump-ons. Hold them up to camera so you guys can see. All sorts of different components in there. We've got a bag of microcontrollers. A bag of bolts and fixings and screws. And a bag of diodes, resistors, and whatever else is needed. I couldn't tell you. As well as that, we've also got a screwdriver, which comes as standard part of the kit to enable us to screw together whatever we need to. So there we go. That's just standard Phillips screwdriver end. My camera doesn't want to zoom in on that, so I'm just going to pop all these back in. We'll take a look at the board itself. So this is the Gingham PCB. You can see it's got Yankar's design, logo, and everything else. Gingham V 1.0 inspired by the Plaid. You've got all of the diode positions, all of the rest of the controller positions, as well as the Gingham pattern that runs across here. Flipping it over, you can see everything is through hole, so nice and easy to solder, nice and easy to clip neat and flush afterwards. And then we've got these screw mounts for later on as well to hold the board all together. And you can see that there is one right where the spacebar wire is going to go. So the spacebar wire is going to run right over that one. So we'll probably leave that one out. But there's a couple of holes all the way around to just screw it together correctly. As well as that, we've also got the piece of Perspex. So this sits above the components. So this will be transparent when I peel the sticker off. It will sit above the components just like that, offset by ½ centimetre or so. And that'll just protect all of those components nicely. And then we have the base plate. So this can be used either way around. So this is mirror design in terms of the layout. So everything is symmetrical effectively. So you can flip this over. So you can have either this side showing to the base, which has the Yankar proprietary design details just in this bottom corner. Or if you want, you can flip it over and you can have the Japanese legend showing underneath. Now I believe this says Gingham through hole, if I remember correctly. So Yankar, if you're about and you want to confirm exactly what that means, but I'm pretty sure that this means Gingham and then that means through hole. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. I'm sure he told me that. So there we go, guys. That's everything you need for the build. And the screwdriver as well. And it all comes nice and neatly out of the box and packaging, which, as people have said, is really nice and cute. I think this is really nice packaging. It's really good to have kits like this in the the community. Makes it really accessible, really cheap as well for something like this that gets you right into the hobby, and it teaches you more about how the boards work as well. If you want to learn more about how the boards work specifically, you can learn that from having to do all of the componentry soldering effectively. Oh, it's decided it's not tight enough. There we go. 6 months review, all out on everything but supported layouts. It does support ANSI and ISO, so you can pick between the two. The only thing I've mentioned to Yanko already is that it'd be nice to have different bottom row support on this as well. So he is well aware of that. He does know that a 7U bottom row would be cool. Brian says that the box is mad cute. Yeah. Ducks are quality birds. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I wish is that the PCB supported Sangan bottom row. Yeah, I've already mentioned that to him. I think he's well aware of that now. Yes, it says Gingham through hole. There you go. Yes, Yankar is here. Also, Novel Keys is receiving their stock by the end of next week. Excellent. So are we soldering the Gingham or unboxing? I might put a few components in. Yankar did send me a guide. I'm terrible when it comes to this sort of thing, so I might put a few components in today. But the vast majority of this build is going to take place on next week on stream because I haven't got any switches prepped for it. So what I might do today is I might just put 1 or 2 of the diodes in, maybe do the first strip of diodes, and maybe put the controller buttons in as well, and then we'll go from there before we finish the board off. Now he has given me a guide that tells me to do it in a certain order. I'm going to completely ignore that and do it in the order I want to do it in, and then just use the guide as a checklist to make sure I've done it in the end anyway. Sashimi says, sounds like I'm getting a Gingham next week then. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting this built. I think it'd be a great little board and little project. So this is a little bit more involved than what I would usually do from a soldering perspective on stream. So apologies, because my level of skill is not that of some people such as Anarchy and Yankar when it comes to soldering, especially on these smaller projects. So as you can see, one of the things that Yankar has done is he's put little logos of the diodes here as well. So I'm hoping you guys can see that actually shows the orientation of the diodes as well. He can show you whether the line is due to go to the top of the diode position rather than at the bottom. It does show that quite clearly. And then if you look at a diode, you can see that these are in the correct orientation for the board right now because we've got the line at the top. I'm not sure how well that's going to show, but you can see that they do have the line at the top. This is where a component bender helps in. Yeah, I completely get that. Personally, I don't have a component bender, so I'm literally just going to bend them by hand. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put one side into the hole, bend that over, put it into the other side of the hole, and then pull that so it's flush. There we go. There you go. You can see that's the first one installed. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. And then it's just a case of repeating that all the way across, and then we can solder all of these together. The guy from the board has made a really good diode bender that you can print off on your 3D printer. Oh, excellent! Yes, yes, we can definitely. I'll definitely have a look at that. If you want to send me an STL for that, I will print that off before I do too many of the components today. I'll probably just do one in that case, and then I can print off something that will help me solder the diodes next week correctly. Just bend them around your finger. Yeah, I think it's usually fine. What's the length of the standoffs? I think the standoffs are 8mm, so the standoffs are just here. I think they're about 8mm, maybe 1 centimeter, but I think that's probably a little bit longer than what they look. They look about 8mm to me. Okay, so that's that in position. I've moved my solder. And effectively, all I'm going to do here is just touch the pad on each side of the diode, soldering iron on a relatively low temperature, just hot enough to melt the solder. Is this the Played? No, this is the Gingham, which is inspired by the Played. So very much just going to touch. Would help if I tin the tip first. Touch it through here. I know you can do this either side. I'm just showing you guys how it would look from the top. So you can just touch it that side, or alternatively, if you want, you can just solder from the other side, and you can just solder in from either side, so you can do it either way. The beauty of it is being through hole. The other components that we do, you'd have to do from the other side. 2 boards in 1 stream. I'm not completing this board today. I'm just showing you guys how it can be done, and then it's just a case of taking your flush cutters and then snipping these as flush to the PCB as you can. Conscious that's not in the middle of the screen, so we're just cutting these nice and flush. Oops, it's jumped off somewhere. And then you can see that that's one diode installed nicely, and then it's just a case of repeating that all the way across the board. Jay's a warrior. 7-hour build stream, alright. No, I'm not doing 7-hour build stream. I'm pretty much done for tonight, to be honest with you guys. I'm beat. It's been a long day already. The only other thing I'm going to show you guys how to do is to just install the buttons as well. So we do have 2 buttons that you can install here, one for the reset and one for the boot buttons. So these are just little buttons. I'm just going to check the orientation in the guide. I'm not sure if these need to be a specific way around. I don't think they do. No, it doesn't look like they have to be any particular order. So it's just a case of taking the switch, popping it into position, popping it through all of the holes, and as you can see, that's now protruding through the far side. Maybe you can't. If I hold it at an angle, there you go. You can see it's protruding. It's nice and flush, and then we're just going to solder that on. And again, just flip the PCB over. No difference soldering a switch here. Just going to put a dab of solder just on each one. There we go. There we go. Will be a similar build from me in a few weeks now that my MT3 Godspeed is coming through. Not the Gingham all played. Oh, interesting, interesting. I will definitely be taking a look at that. Why does everyone love that mouse? Because it's a good mouse, man. It's a good mouse. I've got the travel version for work as well. They only go one way. Oh, yeah, of course they would. Yes, they would. Oh, you can put them in 2 orientations. So, yeah, I know what you mean. They're not square. They are rectangular. But you could put them in this way round, which would fit. Or alternatively, you could put them in that way round. But the orientation for the physical properties of the switch would be the same. You're correct. Protein Sloot says, how are you liking the TS100? I've been using it as my main soldering iron for about a year now, maybe 2. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great iron. I've gone through a few tips, but other than that, it's been a trooper. Okay, so that is another example of how you solder on those little switches. So those are all nice and evenly pressed in. I see, yes, Yanka, you see, you did see what I meant in the end. You did see what I meant in the end. To be honest, guys, most of this soldering is the same. So it'd be the same for the crystal, which keeps the timing of the board and everything else. Let's do a few more diodes. I feel like we should do at least 1 strip. So I'm gonna follow UPass's advice and just bend these around my finger to get them broadly in the right shape. Want the dark line at the top, and then we're just going to push these pins in. We're going to push that down, seat it nicely, pull it tight from the other side, and then spread the legs as it were on the far side, and you can see that that's now in place. Try and keep it with chat while I do this. Met Advice Guy has to go, but says thank you very much for the stream. Have a great evening. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Do appreciate that. Could do it across the table with a bunch of on your energy table. Just get them all to all the same bend. Yeah, you could do. I completely see there's a lot of different ways. I used to have a tool for it back when I did a lot more soldering works like this, but it's rare I do any projects that are as involved as this these days. But sometimes it's just nice to have a project that you do slowly and something you don't rush. Okay. Okay. All looking good from that perspective. 1 more, and then that's that first strip done. And then we'll carry on with the stream from there. Maybe I will build the whole thing tonight. I'm half tempted to. Brian seems to be calling me out, telling me I'm a warrior for doing the whole thing. It's never going to take 7 hours. It might take me an hour, but maybe we just do the build in terms of getting all of the components in the board. and then finish the rest of the build off from there. In fact, you know what, I'm going to solder all of these on the top side just because I think it looks a little bit neater. Okay, guys. Making some good progress here. Taking time because it's delicate soldering. There we go. That's the first set soldered. There you go, guys. You can see that's all now nice and neatly soldered in place. Then we can go back to clipping these legs, keeping them nice and flush. Just using flush cutters to trim them back. You're not part of TC and so you have a 6 hour plus build stream. Very funny. I don't need 6 hours to do a build stream, man. We're not all called Brian. iFrozen Tap says hi and good evening. Welcome, man. Good to see you, dude. Talisman Solution says Brian's garage. Yes. Interestingly enough, I may do a stream from my garage in the next couple of months. I'm in the middle of re-kitting it all out with some new tools and some new kit and stuff like that, so I might be able to do a build stream in there at some point, which would be quite interesting. So yeah, all my tools and everything else are getting a bit of an overhaul, revamp. I'm finally going to make sure that the compressed air is working 100% of the time, because at the minute it doesn't, so I've got a new compressor coming. I'm hoping that'll all be sorted before the trip to Seattle. Okay. So as you can see, guys, we are starting to make some good progress now. Sashimi says that means I'm definitely part of Top Cluck since I took like 7 hours to do the TMO 50 build. Oh man, perhaps we need to give you some build lessons, dude. Looped healers is fine. Hey man, when you build 3 boards and loop switches for 2 of them, the stream takes a while. Oops. I've never ever streamed on lubed on stream. I always find that I do it off stream. I'm not sure if I could ever entertain people for long enough to lube on stream. So what I'm probably going to do, guys, is just put all of these in now, and then by all I just mean each section, and then solder each section. Just flattening them out on the underside after we put them in. There we go. Sorry, so Tenstrong says, so I've diagnosed a build issue to a specific socketed pin on my Pro Micro. Should I reflow and add solder on my first attempt, or try to desolder the port and stick a new connection in there? Anarchy says, try to reflow the first, then desolder from it does not fix it, and I would do exactly the same. Sashimi says, I lubed like 100 switches during that build. Fair enough, man, fair enough. I've never lubed on stream. I just find... I like to enjoy my lubing, and I like to do it in peace and quiet, and I like to do it with a coffee on a Sunday morning or a Saturday afternoon. Usually a bit of cake, maybe some fruit, a bit of TV on in the background. Just take it steady away, man. That's where I like to get my lubing done. Making some good progress now, guys. Okay, there we go. That's 2 rows done. I'm just going to trim these again. Trim the next side Could go for cake right now. Yeah, man. We need to go for cake when I get over there as well. I do. I like a little bit of cake while I'm lubing. Just what I do. Cup of coffee, bit of cake. It's a good afternoon that way. So there we go, guys. That's 2 of the sets of diodes done. So we'll move on to the third. The good thing about these, if you do get bored of doing the diodes, you can always jump onto one of the other components and do something a little bit different. That last track reminded me of the Stranger Things soundtrack. I feel I need to go get some cake now. Yeah, you should do, yeah. Yeah, it's too late for cake here, man. Too late for cake. Can't be having cake at 9:45 in an evening. Jay, do you know what European proxy vendor for this practice kit? So this is the Gingham. This is available from Yankar Designs, or it's available from mechboards.co.uk. Both are EU vendors. There we go. That's that one done. So are those LEDs? No, these are diodes. So these are effectively what enable the board to work and for the switches to be able to speak. So we're putting on one of these for each of the rows. Normally you'd find these next to your key switches on a pre-soldered PCB, but this is a PCB that we're soldering completely from scratch. Jay, I had a huge bowl of ice cream at 1 AM. There's no such thing as too late for cake. There is, man. When you're my age, I would put on 5 stone from doing that. So I can't. A bit of lemon drizzle would go down a treat. I was thinking maybe something like some red velvet or something like that. That's what I could go for right now. But I shouldn't. I should be good. Plus, I don't think we've got any in. Okay, back to quickly soldering these. And this is the third set of these that we're doing. Just a tiny bit of solder on each one. Come back up the other side. Go, and then trim these nice and neatly as well. There we go. Do the other side. So, John, I am interested to know which board you're going to put your Murray giveaway prize on. Can't really get hold of this one. There we go. Be interesting to know if there's a board in mind for the artisan to go on. And as I say, if you get me your address, I'll get it posted out in the next week or so for you. Okay. This is starting to look rather good. 3 rows done so far. Now, one thing I did notice, Yankar, is that when we opened one of these boards in the pub, it actually came with an alcohol wipe, but I think you boxed mine wrong because it didn't come with an alcohol wipe, which is a shame because that would have been rather useful to clean up all of my soldering details that are a bit messy. Okay. Just flatten out the pins on the bottom once you've got them into position. Okay. This is by far the most involved build I've done in some time, guys, so I do apologise that I'm being rather slow at it. And chat's gone quiet. Everyone's gone off to get cake. Okay. Almost there with the diodes now, guys. That's another Rodon. Cake squad. Yeah, man. Cakers rise up. Can't beat a good bit of cake with a nice cup of coffee. See, it's alright for you, Brian. It's the right time of day for a bit of cake for you. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Perfect time for a bit of cake. Loop Helios doesn't have any cake. Neither do I, man. Neither do I. Anarchy, I'd agree. Yeah, it's nice to do something a little bit different. Do something a little bit more involved. This is more of what you'd see the PCB designer do usually during the design of the PCB. They would add all of these components in to the design rather than have them be manually soldered on at a later stage, but it's not a bad thing to show these on stream. Yeah, man, I'm right there with you, Brian. I'm fat and unhealthy too, but I can also eat for England, so. Wow. You're right, Talisman. That's not the type of cake that I was referring to now. By the way, does anyone know a great PCB designer from Germany? Pingu is rather good at PCB design. He's from Germany. You could also hit a few of the people up in the EU. Yankar from the UK, although he's Cypriot. You've also got Martin, who can do it. He's from the Netherlands. You've also got a couple of people in the UK that can do it. Elliot. There's a few other people as well. Lots and lots of people in the EU that can do decent designs for PCBs for you. If it's for a mass-produced product as well, you can actually hit up GMK and they would also do your PCB design, but I think that's more for industrial-sized systems than for hobbyist keyboards. I came late into this and couldn't tell what's being put on. All these just resistors. These are diodes for the design of the board. So effectively you've got one of these for each switch on the board. So we're going column by column. So column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and so on and so forth, all the way across. And there's one of these series of rows for each column on the board. Get these soldered in place. I can be high class too. I don't discriminate when it comes to food. Good, man, good. Because I like me some good food. Okay. I really wasn't planning on doing this build all today, but I think we might just get the components put on and then do the actual build of the keyboard next week now. I feel like I want to finish it. I can't. I'm in an Airbnb right now and I don't have the ingredients. Oh man, that sucks. If I had to, you'd make some. Nice, man. Nice. There we go. It's another road done. It's about a third of the way there with the diodes. Nearly halfway there. Go all the way, Jay. Do it for the cake. I'm not going all the way. I don't have any switches prepped for this board, so. But I will do all of the components. I think we'll get all the components done, and then we'll do the actual build next week on stream and build the board up and keycap it at that point. Thanks for the info. This is definitely a more difficult looking build. It's a little bit more involved. I wouldn't say any of it was more difficult because it's through hole. Everything is just as easy to solder as switches. There's nothing more difficult to do than switches in this entire build. So it's pretty simple. There is a full-on guide that comes with the board as well that tells you exactly the orientation for all of the components, how they all need to fit together. And more importantly, what they all do as well. So there's a full-on guide that comes with the board that gives you all the information you need. Any switches in mind for it? I haven't actually at the minute. Maybe silent inks. I'm possibly going to put silent inks in it. I haven't decided fully yet. Because I've got some silent inks and I haven't used them at all yet, so I should probably find a reason to use those. So I wonder if I've got enough diodes for this build. Take switches out of your switch jar until you have a board's worth. Oh yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? Should I do this as the random switch build board? I have been toying with that for a little while. So is that what we should do? Should we just go completely random and just pick out a switch for each slot on the board and it'd be completely different? There's everything in here from high rose oranges to phase switches to the new Gator on inks. You can see the blue one just back here. Oh, at the bottom now. It's at the bottom. Where is it? There. The new yellow one's here, and the blue one's just there. Speed pinks. There's probably about 40, 50 different types of switch in there. Is that what we do? Is that how we build it? Is that what we do? You tell me, guys. What would you do? Makes the build really fun, but man, will you regret that later. Currently 69 viewers, so you have to. Is that what we do, guys? Is that what we do? Meme incoming. Maybe. We could use it for 10 fast fingers at the Seattle meetup. Just so many random different switches on it, and see how people react to that, because there's all sorts of switches of different weightings and everything else in there as well. Perfect board for the multicolored key set that's in group buy. Put a hand debate on it. Yeah, we could do that. A switch tester board. Building keyboard pog. Make one. Yeah. Oh, you got me thinking, guys. Is this the board that gets the random switch treatment? Because one board's going to get it eventually. Is this the board that we use for it? Building keyboard pog. Try cool. Yeah, man, we build keyboards on stream every week. Every Sunday at this time we've got a build going. And we have other random ones during the week as well. Plus a new show every Thursday evening. Will be a problem due to no plates, so we'll need to be PCB mount switches. Yeah, I think most of them are PCB mount. We could get around that. We could get around it. I have done plateless builds before with PCB mount switches. With non-PCB mount switches, sorry, should I say, with plate mounted switches. Whilst it was a pain, it was completely doable. I sort of feel like this board is begging for ink, so maybe I could put silent inks on it. Yeah, that's the mature option. The question becomes, do we go for the mature option or do we go for the meme option? Okay, guys, I'm making some good progress here. I'm over halfway through these diodes now. Meme, you have a lot of good boards. Meme here and there, it's healthy. Yeah, I've got a few boards. I am very, very tempted to start to reduce the collection in size, though, significantly. Try and get down to maybe 10 boards. I think that's going to be my aim for the second half of this year. Imagine all the Reddit karma you could get. I don't think I don't post to Reddit very often, to be honest. I'm not sure a board with all the different switches would actually get much love on Reddit, to be honest. Rip the 69. Oh man, it's also 69 for me, but that's fine. That's fine. People came for the giveaway, really. RMK is stupid. Well, people just like to do different things, and people like different things. There's no such thing as stupid in this hobby. Okay. There we go. I have a few boards. Jay making the biggest understatement ever. No. There's people with bigger collections than me. Literally all time camel posts are just lazy pictures with no substance. No man, the Hyper 7's up there. That's in the top 30 or so, I think. Not everybody. I come to hang with Jay. Oh, thank you, Talisman. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that. Customs is worse. So much worse. Yeah, I don't really frequent customs. There's some nice people in there, though. I get on with a lot of people in there. Classic, Super Dobodo. Lots of nice people around. Reddit is pretty crap all over. There's no good Reddit. Well, maybe. Maybe. There's some interesting subreddits out there, I'll be honest. Man, I've forgotten how long fitting diodes could take for a board. I am starting to get worried that I don't have enough diodes, though. Maybe it's just the way my brain estimates, but it's starting to look like I'm going to run out. This is why we need some SMD diodes. Yeah. I sort of like the desk setup subs. Yeah, that's fair. Some people like those, yeah. SMD is so much quicker. Well, it can be. If you're good at soldering, it can be. I'm terrible at SMD soldering though, so I don't mind through hole. Through hole's easier. It's just a little bit slower, but that's fine. Not everything's a race in life. And to be honest, I'm really enjoying this right now. And that's what it's all about. Okay, almost there now, guys. Just a few more rows of diodes to go, and then we can move on to doing some of the other componentry. go. Okay, slowly getting there, slowly getting there. Thank you very much to anyone who's stayed and is now watching the second build. I hope Yankar's still around. He's gone very, very quiet. And he knows that I'm probably going to get stuck on something at some point. I think that's why I was in chat earlier on, just in case I did get stuck. Okay. Still rocking hard at 69 viewers. Everything's always hard with 69, dude. Rock hard at 69. Still hanging about. Just working with the wireless headset on. Nice, Salvin. Nice. As I say, I will drop you another message, Salvin, about the projects we talked about before. I'll do that in the morning on the train to work. And Demi's here as well, so Yankar's good friend Demi is here too. I hear you built your canoe earlier on, Demi, and that you put GMK ham on it, right? I think Yankar shared a picture of that. If I don't have enough diodes as well, Demi, I'm gonna blame you, because I know you were helping Yankar do all the packaging. So if there isn't enough diodes, I'll blame you. Really don't feel like work tomorrow. Yeah, man, I completely agree. Completely agree. Brian, why do you think I'm talking to him? Okay. Making some good progress now, guys. I should have changed over to a finer tip for this, but we're managing. We're doing all right. Yeah, I can blame you. I can blame you because there was no alcohol wipe in this one then, Demi. So yeah. Oh, no, I embrace the patina, man. I love the patina on copper and things like that. So my friend James Salvin had the UK78 case made through you a little while back. That sort of thing would look stunning with a nice patina on it. Okay. Man, these diodes feel like they've been taking forever, but we're almost there now. Last quarter to go. Okay. Okay, I'll get about 2,000 alcohol pads next week. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm not sure why I'd need 2,000, but sure. Okay. There we go, so that's this one done. So as I say, guys, in the next couple of weeks I may do a stream from my my garage with some interesting stuff, some interesting project, because one of the things I do want to do is try sandblasting with my sandblasting cabinet, some GMK caps, so it might be fun to do that on the stream. and see how it goes. Try and bring back that original colour and take away the discoloured plastic on the top. Okay, just 3 more sections to go. I'm going to put all these in, solder them, and then I'll clip everything afterwards. Now I feel like I'm close enough to the end that I can get away with that. Just feel like I'm going to be really close on the numbers with these diodes, guys, so if you have counted them out perfectly, wow, well done. Nothing wrong with good customer service. Hey, I even got this hand delivered to me at the pub, so that was that's always a good thing. Okay. Almost there now, guys. I'm just going to put, as I say, I'm just going to push all of these ones in, the last 2 amounts as well. And then just quickly solder a few rows up at once, or a few columns, sorry, should I say. And then we'll clip them all afterwards. And then we'll pop the rest of the board together apart from the switches, and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, just 1 more section to go now, and then we'll be done. So just 4 or 5 more. There we go. Then last 2, and there was exactly the right amount on that strip, guys, so I didn't need to worry. My in the head estimations of having the wrong number were completely unfounded, because we had all 66 of these right there. So there we go. Awesome. So get rid of the rubbish, quickly solder these, quickly trim them back, and then we can carry on with the rest of the components. Okay. Okay, so that's one side of these soldered. Just going to run up the other side now. Okay, almost there. Last 4 now, and then we're done with the diodes. Okay, there we go. Let me jump over to Yankar's step-by-step guide. Oh, Yankar's just pinged me some new instructions. The link doesn't work. Alright. Oh, it does work, it does work. Okay, so I've now got a PDF, which looks rather nice and snazzy. Okay. So I need 2 10k ohm resistors. So they should look like brown, blue and black. So that's these ones here, I think. Just trying to identify these now, guys. So the ones with green on aren't the right ones, and the ones with purple on aren't the right ones either. So they have green on, they have purple on, so it's definitely these ones. So I need 2 of these, and the 10k ohm resistors go on R4 and R5 and R6. So it's 3. So it says 2. So Fienko, if you're still watching this, it says 3 in the description. And it also doesn't give you the orientation from me, the Yankar, but I can work it out, I think. Okay, before we do those, I'm just going to clip these off on the base really quickly. Give myself plenty of space to work with. Okay, would you use the same sanders for car parts when cleaning the keycaps? Think it might be a little rough. Yeah, that's what I want to speak to Salvan about, because I've got different grits for car parts and the sandblast that I've got, which doesn't work on some things, so it doesn't work on delicate stuff like removing PVD coatings and things like that. So I've already been speaking to Salvan about that, but it occurred to me that I could just probably buy different media and do it directly myself. So I'll have a chat with Salvan offline, work out what media is right for me to buy, and then go from there. Okay. Easy way to check with the multimeter for matching to identify them. Please have Brian build one of these. Orientation does not matter for resistors. Ah, okay, of course it doesn't. Yeah. Everything depends on what you want to do with it after. Yeah, that's true. So normal with car parts, it's a case of just get it back to bare metal, which means something quite abrasive is usually quite fine. That's my kind of experience level. I'm used to bumpers and car panels and all of that kind of stuff. Taking it back to bare metal and then repainting it so it matches the rest of the car and looking nice. But keyboard parts are a little bit different. You have to be a little bit more delicate with them, to say the least. Okay. And Anarchy, if the orientation doesn't matter on these, then it should say that the orientation doesn't matter. So we're going into R4, R5, and R6. So R4, I can't see. Okay, yes I can. So R4 is up here. So I'm going to go into R4 just there. Going to pull that down nice and tight. And then we've got R5 and R6. Which are just going to go in here. And then the last one is going to go just to the side of that. And then we're going to push this one in as well. ready to give these a dab of solder as well. There's one. There's 2 and 3, all done. There we go. I think Wodan has some experience with sandblasting. I think I've reached out to Wodan before. We've traded a few times and done some other bits and pieces. I may hit him up if I decide to do something that doesn't work and see what meter he used. Might just solder these ones from the bottom side as well. I think one of the pads has not quite soldered properly. I'm just going to reflow it from the base. There we go. All sorted on those. Okay, that's those in place. So next we're going to solder the 3 1.5k ohm resistors into R1, R7 and R8. So these are the ones with green on. They're going into R1, R7 and R8. So those have green on. And those have green on as well, but those have got the purple on, so it's not those. It's these ones. So we're going to go into R1. So if you guys can see, that's where we're looking right now. R1, just in this top corner here. There we go. And then we're going to go into R7 and R8. That's one done, and then last one we're going to go into R8. Okay. Okay, we're going to just quickly pop some soldering for these. Way too much solder on the tip there. Okay. There we go. That's those all nicely soldered together there. Quickly give these a clip. Neo Jonathan, thank you very much for the sub, dude. 7 months, currently on a 4-month streak with a dab. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it, man. 4 months. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, Now we're going to go onto the 75 ohm resistance in R2 and R3, and just to validate that those are the purple ones. And this is where I can already tell that I've done goofed, as it were, because I've got a bit of solder on one of the holes for this. So I may struggle to accommodate that in a second. Okay. What I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and remove that actually before we solder that one in. We'll come back to that, we'll leave that till last, and then I can remove the solder from that hole. There we go. Brian giving you the big heart there. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you. Okay, so that's those done. As I say, we'll leave that there. We'll come back to that. We know that it needs to go in the R3 slot. Oh, the R2 slot, sorry. But we'll do that at the end because I just want to desolder that one point and remove that. Solder the two Zener diodes, D15 and D16, with the black line towards the bottom. So that's these two. So now we're going to D15 and D16. So that's just up here. That's one in. And here we go for the second. Solder these in place now. I am glad that not every keyboard is as in-depth to solder as this one is. As much as I'm enjoying this, and I am, I wouldn't want to do this every week on stream. So fair play to people like Anarchy who can solder like this every week on stream and never lose that passion for it. Okay, just this last one. There we go. All of those clips now. Looking rather neat and tidy. Okay. Now we can solder the capacitors C4 and C5. So that would be these two. And again, I don't think it matters which orientation these go in. They're just a capacitor, so they should work either way. One in place, and then put the second one in. I'm going to solder these from the other side just because I think it'd be neater to do so. It does with capacitors. I'm pretty sure that these are the right way around. Let me double check. No, they look correct. They look spot on. These are quick solder from this side. go. Get these nice and flush again on the base. You can hear me pressing that reset and that boot switch on the base of the PCB every time I clip anything. Okay, that's those in place. Nicely done. Okay. Next we're on to the 100 NF capacitors, C2 and C3. Just double checking the orientation. And there we go. Okay, so let's get these in place and then we'll come back and move on to the next component. But we're almost there now, guys. We've almost done most of it. And I blame Brian's influence for me for doing all this soldering on one night. I was not planning on doing this much work today. Try and keep these nice and flush again. Not sure I appreciate this piece of music. Brian's just here for the cake. Nothing wrong with that either, dude. Nothing wrong with that either, man. Okay, so now we need to solder on the capacitor. Negative goes to the top. Luckily that's all color coded, so that's nice and easy to do. Again, just solder this. There we go. Sorry, I'm conscious I was just off camera there, guys. Do apologise. Okay. There we go. That's the capacitor on. Now we've got to go for the fuse F1. Just double check I've got the right component here. Yep. Okay. The fuse goes in F1, which is there. Okay. We've already done the switches. We now need to do the crystal in Y1. So just for your guys' benefit, the crystal just goes in here. Like so. Okay. And then we'll clip these, and then we've got the USB socket. Corbin Dallas, thank you very much for the 22 months, saying hello there, everyone. Thank you, dude. That's a huge number of months. Very soon we're going to have people at the 2-year mark, which is absolutely insane. That just blows my mind that some of you guys have been supporting Top Clack and Brian and I for 2 years now. That's just absolutely crazy. A true OG, yeah. And we've got Herberber here as well. Herbber. Yeah, I like that. That's a good name. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the USB socket. And we've got to solder all 5 pins for this. And this is where my terrible soldering is going to be really challenged. So the first thing I'm going to do is just solder this in place. Okay. And just what I didn't want to do, I've ended up bridging 2, so I'm going to have to get some wick out and fix that off stream afterwards. But yeah, I just bridged the last 2 there together, but that's a dead easy fix. I can just get some wick in there later on. It's in the garage, so I have to pull it out later on. Just pull that apart, but that's nice and easily fixed. Okay. There is also a missing instruction as well in this guide, guys. There's no instruction telling me to solder on the LEDs, but the LEDs appear soldered on later on in the guide. So that's slightly unusual, but that's easy to do. So the long leg on an LED is the positive one, and the short leg is the negative. And this is fully labelled, so it's nice and easy to accommodate. So we'll just pop these in place. What am I building? So this is a Gingham, which is a Plaid 60 inspired board. It's a through-hole, fully solderable PCB, ready for a keyboard. Said some Plaid guide said short leg in the square hole. Oh right, is that what it said? Short leg in the square hole. Right, okay. Well, these are all labelled nicely. I haven't built a Plaid, but I kind of want to now I've done this. So I have got 2 small mistakes. So I've got, just to show you guys, I've got one point that needs desoldering just here, so I can get the last diode in. You can see there that's got soldering it shouldn't do, and then I just need to, if I can get this on camera, you can just see there that 2 of these points have bridged across. The last 2 on this side have just bridged across. So I just want to try and fix that with some wick after the stream tonight. Okay, and then we're on to soldering in the ports for the chips. So the chips themselves, the microprocessors, are in here as well when they decide to come out of the bag. So these are the microprocessors, 2 different ones for the board. Then I'm going to focus. Come on, focus camera. There we go. And what we have to enable us to put these together is just some chip slots effectively. So you solder these in originally, you solder these into the base, and then you can just drop the chip in and out. So that just goes in like so. And we'll just run down the soldering iron on this one. Okay. Okay, and once we've got this in place, then we'll do the second one. There we go. And then we're going to pop the second one in place. Now I know I have bridged one of the solder marks on this already, so I'm just going to line this up, and then what I'm going to do is, just as I'm pushing on this lightly from behind, I'm just going to heat that point up that I've now got the solder in by mistake, and I'm going to try and push it all through. There we go. We did push out one of the pins here. Okay, so we'll come back to that in just one second. I'm just going to solder this into place, guys. Won't be a moment. Okay. Okay, almost there on this now, guys. Just gonna finish soldering these few points left, and then one slight tweak to fix on this. There we go. That's that all in place. There is one pin missing from here, which you can see is just here. I'm going to push this back into the slot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat from the rear end and just try and push that in as I heat the pin up. There we go, that's all now installed. So we can pop the chips into the board, I think, at this point, yeah. The U1 chip semicircle mark goes to the right and the U2 semicircle mark goes to the left. Okay, so I'm not sure which way around he means for this. Oh, okay, I see. So it goes this way around. Okay, I don't want to force anything and break it, so I'm just taking this steady. The only upgrade the TS100 needs is a better cable connector, so it's less of a drag. I know I love mine, but that would be a great fit for sure. There's some good 3D printed stuns for the TS100. I don't have one, and I probably wouldn't use one even if I did. Okay, so that's that one all fitted to the board, and then this one goes this way around. So these are slightly out of position, so okay, just about got this one in as well. In fact, actually, no. Bent some of the pins on this one, so I'm just going to re-straighten these up with some flush cutters, being very careful not to break them. Okay. Making sure everything's aligned as it should be here. go. There we go. All nice and neatly fitted. There we go. That's everything there. Any soldering iron needs a silicone cord. That makes them a little bit different. Yeah. Going to need to get a look for a better cable for the TS100. Yeah. Both valid opinions there. Okay, guys. So that's everything soldered onto the board. That's all the components there, apart from the 175 resistor that I need to put in, which I'm just going to desolder. But that's pretty much the board all soldered together now. The next thing to do, which we'll do on stream next week, is to put all of the key switches in, put in the right standoffs, put the case together, put some keycaps on, put the clear acrylic plastic over there, and finish the build off. So we'll do that on stream next week. That's what we'll start off with when we start the show next Sunday. And I'll probably have a full build to do after that as well. I think it might be the Doro 67 next week if we get everything else sorted in time for that. And then the week after that we'll be doing a KBD 19 times, unless something else turns up in the meantime, which I'm waiting for. But yeah, then it'll be a KBD 19 time for DNL. And the week after that we'll be in Seattle, so Brian and I will both be attending Seattle, so there'll be no build stream on the Sunday. So we'll work out from there what we're going to do. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do the show that week either, but the Thursday show is probably going to be a little bit different that week when we're both in Seattle doing the meetup. If anyone is going to the meetup, feel free to come over and say hi. I'm really approachable. Don't be scared. You know, I love to chat, and you probably won't stop me talking once you start talking to me. So, you know, I'm always open for that. I will be bringing a few boards, probably the J01, likely the Prophet as well. I'm not sure what else I'll bring. Maybe the Equinox. I don't know. But I'll bring 3 or 4 boards at most, no more than that. We'll see how that goes. If there's any last questions, any last thoughts, then now is the time to post them in chat. We've been live for 2 hours and 47 minutes. I want to end before 2 hours 50 minutes. So we'll do that. Demi says, thank you, Jay. I will finish this off next week, Demi. Just want to tweak that one little point in there, and then just get a little bit of remove a tiny bit of the solder in there. It's a long time since I've soldered anything this small, but everything else I'm really happy with. Everything else looks really rather neat and tidy, as you can see. So I'm rather happy with the rest of it. I'll get some alcohol wipes and I'll clean all that up so it looks a lot neater as well when we put the acrylic piece on top. But yeah, looking good. So this is the Gingham 60% from Yankar Designs, and we'll get that completed next week. Luke Helia says, bring the Alice. Ha ha, very funny. You know I sold it so I could pay for the tickets to there, so thank you very much for that. That's a bit of a kick in the behind, Luke Helios. You get one less drink out of me when we're in Seattle. Anarchy says, thanks for the builds, Jay. Thank you very much, guys. I was really impressed with the Equinox earlier on. I'm definitely going to give this a try this week as my little travel board. I'm going to ship this off to Jono Warren if he's still watching. Jono, I will ship that cap off to you probably Tuesday, I think, depending on my time schedule. But yeah, really happy with the build and the board, guys. I think it looks great. Cool. Alright then, with that, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for staying with us. I hope everything was okay and to your liking. I hope you liked the new redesign as well. And I'll see you all on Thursday. See you later, guys.